Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. I don't know how well everybody can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if I ever robot, because I am on a configuration other than what I used to use, and I am actually in a hotel configuration right now. With me, I have Sean, and what do you call it? I guess I can, if I can do this here. I mean, everybody can hear me, right? And Sean, say something.
Well, hello, everybody. I probably sound a little weird because I'm not on my standard configuration.
Is not receiving enough video. Yeah. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
Oh, good Lord.
What? Let's see. Well, everybody seems to be receiving.
We're not really doing anything graphic today, so as long as they can hear us, I guess we're.
Yeah, there's nothing really that's going to be videoed out. So as a matter of fact, well, actually, let's see here. I'm going to downsize this. And then, oops, no, actually, I can't completely downsize it because what I need to do is I need to get chat there so I can see it. Give me 1 second here, guys. Like I said, I'm just in a different thing here.
Ooh, you're roboting.
Sound quality can be, yeah. Let's see here. Live chat, pop out chat, do that, drop that down. We got nothing else rolling, so cool. And then I will put on the screen. Let's see, scene, screen, and turn that off, turn that on, transition. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I don't have a right screen. Left screen.
Oops.
I don't have that was funny. But okay,
A little
well,
bit.
that's actually a little bit screwed. Hold on. All right, well, either way, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Let me
Just do it
pause
like
that.
this. Just say screw it.
Yay.
I'll do it like that. So what's going on, everybody? I've been offline for well, not offline. I've obviously been responding to comments and all that other stuff, but I've kind of been off flat Earth for a little while because of the fact that well, I've had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, and so a lot of things are moving around, and it's nothing that I'm going to sit here and harp about because it's just sometimes life throws you lemons. So, but what I kind of want to know is, what have I missed in the past good week and a half, 2 weeks that I've kind of not been on top of everything. And in the pre-talk here, Sean kind of led me on that I really missed something big.
Well, you actually
What you
missed a
got,
couple
Sean?
things. You missed a couple things that are big in your absence. Reds has been dealing with moon landing denier. I've dealt with a cold moonlight advocate. In the form of Sleeping Warrior, he actually agreed to having a debate with me. After having me blocked for a year, he actually did that on the Sci Strike channel. That was fun.
Wait a second. Oh, Riley wanted to debate with you about cold moonlight, even though you have a thermal
Yeah,
camera.
but he's got 3 thermometers. 3 meat thermometers at that.
Oh, gee, thermometer. See, the reason why something that I was really excited about with that thermal camera. I mean, I have the lower quality version of the one that you have, and something that I thought was really awesome, and people were talking about, why don't you take temperature readings and stuff like that. That's what that's for. Is it gives you all of the temperature readings in one picture.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
You know.
Um,
Yeah, and it's just awesome.
yeah, he decided he wanted to take 3 meat thermometers and mount them on a board that get this. It's at the back of his mounting board that he placed up against a wall for one. Um, he used one that was out in the open except for the backside that was against the wall. he used one that had
Right.
a ice cream scoop as his parabolic mirror, and he used a can of WD-40,
Wait a minute. An ice cream scoop?
an ice cream scoop. Yes.
As in like full hemisphere or at least open a little
Well, it
bit.
was open a little bit, but the focal point of the parabola is literally inside the scoop area. So, he has all kinds of issues there that he didn't understand.
Okay, so a full hemisphere, yeah.
Do what? You broke up there for a second.
Oh, I was just talking about the fact that you were acknowledging it was a full hemisphere ice cream scoop.
Well, it was a yeah, almost a complete hemisphere, but the focal point is actually inside the scoop. And he didn't think that would cause an issue with having a metal ice cream scoop that has a plastic handle was going to cause issues with a temperature reading at all with the meat thermometer being that close. Then for his shade creating device, he used a can of WD-40 to create the shadow on the third one at very close range. And he didn't understand
Oh
that was going to
God.
cause an issue. Oh, it was hilarious. And I mean, you've seen my video where I actually used the side of a building. Well, two faces of the building that are made of the same material. It's on the same corner, so it's literally the same room that's on the inside. So there's not a differential heat
Right.
issue from the inside causing issues. It was a windless night, so the only thing that was affecting it was whether one side had light or not. And
Right.
get this, the shaded side doesn't count as an independent variable because I can't wiggle it, even though one side had 2 hours of moonlight shining on it, the other had no moonlight shining on it for the entire night.
Yeah, just like Riley always says that time is not an independent variable.
But because I didn't create the shadow, the building did, it
Oh,
didn't count as a valid test, according to Riley. Because my shaded side was 2 degrees colder than the moonlit side.
oh God. What a fucking moron. Uh, so ultimately, I missed Riley making that. Now, you guys did like a live thing? Is that what I'm
Yeah,
understanding?
yeah, it was live. It was an hour and a half. And of course, when
Who,
he re-up,
whose channel was it
it
on?
was on Sci channel.
Oh, okay.
And of course, he decided he wanted to quote unquote mirror it, where he cut up everything in the Hangout, where he removed a lot of the self-embarrassing things. So he
Oh, that never happened.
he he knows what the hell he's talking about. He knows he's full of shit, but he has to actually edit out where he makes himself look like a complete dumbass.
Oh, God. Uh,
But his mirror of our hour and 34-minute hangout was just about 2 hours long, and he even cut out a lot of the debate. So yeah, he asked.
now, why would you consider that a mirror?
Say that again.
I said, why would somebody even consider that a mirror?
Because that's Riley's definition. A mirror to him is editing whatever he wants out that makes him look stupid while trying to save face. That's a mirror to Riley.
Uh, uh, hold on a second here. Now, you said it was on Side Strike's channel, but he did his mirror. Now, hold on here. How's Family Side Strike doing anyway? They holding
They're
up?
holding up pretty good. Yeah, they're doing all right.
Yeah. Hold on a second here. I'm sure I'm gonna beat up my bandwidth here, so hold on. Wow, is it going slow?
Yeah, Reds was actually the moder
The
Reds was actually the moderator for that debate, but about halfway through it, Red being Red had to jump in, and I ended up being a moderator at some point and just told Jessica to just mute both of them while they shut up. They literally got into
oh
a
jeez.
4 sentence repeating contest for like 3 minutes, and I just told Jessica to shut them both up.
saying here, size strike force. There's size strike. No, that's not size strike. Did he change his icon?
Yeah.
Did the family change his icon? Wow. I'm talking about him like he's here.
Yeah, it's hard, dude.
Is this the one right here?
I can't see what you're showing.
Oh, wait, you can't see that.
No, you're trying to save
Hold
your
on.
bandwidth, Mr. Hotel Wi-Fi, dude.
Yeah, no, I think I got it here. I think I got it. It's you'll see it up on the you'll see it up on the stream, but I think I got it here. There we go. Yeah, it's related to you guys and stuff. So
Yeah, it's like an hour and 34 minutes. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch that and enjoy.
So let's see here. Sean Hufford, Red's Rhetoric, Moonlight Sonata. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go back over here and we'll do Sleeping Warrior. Because, if you're going to mirror somebody's stuff, you have the same length, right?
Well, it should have the same length, but I figured he would like add stuff to the beginning or add stuff to the end, but no, he literally chopped it to bits and probably used maybe 40 minutes of the actual debate, and the rest of it is just him trying to save face.
Okay, so what I have in front of me right now is the debate. Let's see, he's got the same icon as the debate that's actually lit. Let's discuss live, it's called. Hufford and Red's A Poor Scientific Method is what he titled it. And his is 1 hour and 57 minutes long, as the debate itself, the stream, is 1 hour and 34 minutes long.
Yep.
So that means he added all kinds of bullshit to it.
Yeah. He would play a little bit of the debate, then talk for like 10, 15 minutes, play a little bit of the debate, but he plays specific clips of the debate and then try to save face on him. But he would always, of course, he left out the parts of the debate where he can't answer to, like, just pointing the camera directly at the moon and seeing if the moon is an actual heat source. He didn't show that.
Right. So here's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so it's already starting out screwed up because now this is just comparing stuff. Do you know anything about the mechanical gyroscope test a few days ago by Stefan from FE Core? I've heard bits of that, but didn't Mike Kavanaugh say that nothing FE Core is to be considered FE Core if it doesn't come out on FE Core's channel?
Correct, but you'll never see anything else about the.
I seem to recall.
You will never see anything about the gyro again on FE Core site because of Seventh Day Truth Taker's findings.
I don't think we're going to see anything of anything on. I mean, because there's nothing about the microwave test. There's nothing about anything further on the gyroscope test after I made the video showing that the ship was moving. And here's a nice little shout out if you want to hear it. In the first video that I did, the thing that actually prompted me to make a video about their gyroscope test, the first video that I did was because of the fact that they had lied to Taboo Conspiracy, saying that the gyroscope didn't move.
Yeah.
I mean, that was their actual words. Taboo Conspiracy came up and he says, "Did the gyroscope ever move?" Or was there movement of the gyroscope? I mean, in basically those words. But then the only word that was responded back from FE Core was none. They said
absolutely none.
None, meaning it didn't move at all. And then here's the funny part. Now, excluding, of course, Jaronism, who is a not member of FE Core anymore because he's not on the staff, at least not listed. But Bob is. And so the joke is the first person in the gyroscope test, in the pre-tests, Globebusters lied to, FE Core lied to, they make him the next member of the Globebusters. How fucking ironic is that?
It's
You
very.
know, I mean,
But then again,
dude's
it's
name, I think
flat
is
Earth.
they introduced. I think they introduce him as Brett, but what do you call it? Dude's name. He's the first person that FE Core lied to about the gyroscope test, and then like 5 minutes later, he's the next globebuster.
Yep.
It would you know what I would love to hear, and I know I have some people who actually watch some of these globebuster things. I would love to hear live Brett or Taboo Conspiracy. I would love to hear him ask Bob, as a board member of FE Core on Globebusters. I would love to hear him ask, "Hey, why did you not tell me the truth about the gyroscope moving?" I would actually love to hear that response. Now, of course,
Yeah,
the
you're probably
response
not.
will be something from well, it didn't move as much as it was supposed to,
Or it'll just be the
which
heavenly energy.
we all translate as none.
It'll
Yeah,
be the
right.
energy from the heavens.
So the question, yeah. So the question is, and you had also told me, I think it was you that told me about the well, it was either you or Geistview, or even Geo. It's all part of the same group. I'm
It might have
kind
been
of
all
at a
of
blur
us.
on it right. Yeah, it might have been the about the mechanical gyroscope, or excuse me, the gyro compass that apparently FE Core has acquired.
What? I didn't know about that.
And I'm wondering this. There was something about a gyro compass. Somebody had said that, a gyro compass. And because I immediately went looking for one of the guys who used to follow my channel and stuff like that, because that was his answer to everything, gyro compass. But the funny part is that what I want to know is, why is this shit coming up on Seventh Day Truth Seeker?
Because he's the one that's actually doing the test with the actual gyro.
FE Core, yeah, but I mean FE Core is, Mike Kavanaugh has plainly stated that if it didn't come out on the FE Core channel, it's got nothing to do with FE Core. Yet I'm willing to bet. Well, I don't know if I would use the word bet at this. Oh, is that you squeaking?
No, that's a bird.
Yeah, that's what I mean, on your
Yeah,
side.
it's on
I
my
didn't
side.
mean you personally. Let me go ahead and check something here. Seventh Day Truth Seeker. Now, here's my question, because there's been a couple of times that this has happened, and I want to see if
Sorry.
that's that's a high pitched squeak.
Yeah, that's the African gray imitating a smoke alarm battery going dead.
Okay. Now, what I want to know, Gary says that the buffering is making this almost not watchable.
Well, the nice thing about the buffering side on
Yeah.
YouTube is that on the replay, it won't be an issue. It's only during live.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When it's a buffering issue, it's still getting the data to YouTube. It's just not able to restream it live. So it's just saving it on the server. As long as it's less than like 20 seconds of buffering.
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just scanning really quick through this magnetic field testing is what they're calling it, with a gyroscope. What I am, and somebody linked me an awesome video the other day, and I'm gonna have to actually share that link about this guy who was actually testing which direction magnetic pull is to a location,
Yeah.
which is really cool. What I was looking for, but I'm not going to find it, is any kind of logo of FE Core throughout this video. I mean, it's obviously it's Chef on Gyro, which is the one that FE Core is claiming, of course.
Yeah, you won't see any FE Core logos in the seventh day video.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
No, but
I mean, I just scanned through it. Might have came up in the text somewhere, but but apparently they have somebody had said something about a gyro compass.
I don't know anything about a gyro compass. I don't know where you got that one from, but the test that Stefan did, or his name is actually oh God, what is it? Rick Zimmerman, that runs the Seventh Day Tree Seeker channel.
Okay,
The test that he did with the gyro with the magnets
that's
was to make sure that the magnets weren't influencing the gyro, but also in that test he actually put weights on it
right.
on one side to see how precession was affecting it in case the gyro was off balance. So what he did was he spun it one direction. He spun the flywheel one direction, put a weight on it, watched which way the precession happened because it's 90 degrees to the direction of the weight. And then he spun the gyro in the opposite
Right.
direction and then put the weight on the same side. And of course, it spun the opposite direction because that's the way precession works, 90 degrees from the direction of the weight or the force. Well, and then he ran the test, both, was spinning it both directions without the weight, just to see how the gyro turned based on, rotation of the Earth, and it turned the same way both times. So it wasn't a balancing issue; it was literally just measuring rotation of the Earth.
Right. Yeah. No, and plus, on top of that, I mean, I don't know how well it was doing it, but I do know that what do you call it? FE Core's gyro for what they intend to do with it. Number one, absolutely sucks. And what do you call it? Because it's just not. It doesn't have the sensitivity. The whole reason for them putting that gyro together for FE Core was to disprove food quality.
Well, on the z-axis,
But
on the z-axis, Rick
what's
actually
that?
got about 11 degrees per hour. He only measured it for like two or 3 minutes, but he extrapolated and it came out to about 11 degrees per hour
Right.
in both spin directions. It's wrong because of the fact he's only measuring one axis instead of a three axis since he's not on the equator or the North Pole. But it showed, about 11 degrees in both directions. Whether the flywheel was spinning
Well, like I
clockwise or
said,
counterclockwise.
yeah. The problem is that the axis that, or the degrees of freedom that are on that particular gyro. Now, I have allowed myself to be corrected, and I stand corrected. Of course, I have no problem admitting that I didn't know something. When Mike Kavanaugh in my talk with him, he had discussed there's a formula of how to detect or what should be the mathematics for detecting the rotation of the Earth on a two-axis gyro uh, uh, by your, I think it's your latitude.
Yep.
Which one's north south latitude, right? Yeah. And what do you call it? I always fuck that up. And yes, that part is true. In other words, you will never get from that gyro in any way, shape, or form other than sitting at the equator on one axis or at the North Pole at the z-axis. You will never get this per hour because it doesn't work. As far as what degrees and what motion is to be expected. And so you will never get that. I think at the locations that they were using, it was supposed to be something like 9 degrees or something like that, at least on the z-axis. And
Yeah.
so I mean,
11.
I had no problem. Interview. I had only heard about the. I had only heard about that particular thing being applied to pendulums. And but as it turns out, like I said I would look it up, and as it turns out, yes, it also applies to single axis measurements on a two axis gyro on a rotating surface. And what do you call it? Where it is not where none of the axes are actually pointing along with the axis of rotation. And so there was all that. So I'm going to say this: if he got 11 degrees, then his gyro's fucked up because I
Well,
think 11 degrees is too much.
keep in mind, he's dealing with a not very precise form of measurement by looking at the little angle markers on the base. And he ran it for like 20. I think he ran it for 20 minutes total at the most. and then he just you just multiplied by whatever the difference was, in order to emulate 1 hour of movement. So even if he was, like just a half a degree off on his actual measurement and then extrapolated out, it would throw the final measurement off a lot.
Right. Yeah, and there was just all kinds of weird stuff like that. And now on my last silent movie, I modeled out the actual angles that were produced by the optic gyro that was it was actually recommended to me to watch by my Kavanaugh. And I modeled that shit out. And guess what? Those 3 axes of rotation per their location, I was even able to determine that their table, or excuse me, their gyro was sitting degrees off from due north.
Right.
And it completely and totally, confirmed the rotation of the Earth just by sitting there showing them numbers.
Well, I do know that when he was aligning the gyro for north-south on that last experiment, that he was using a magnetic compass to find due north. So of course they didn't account for declination. So yeah, probably 3 degrees off.
Well, Stefan is that gyro is let's see, Stefan, he's over here in Europe, right?
I'm not sure where he's at.
I think Stefan is in Europe. I could be wrong on that. But if he's over here in Europe, the declination is not going to be very high.
Well,
because it's actually on declination.
Well, the part that I'm finding interesting is the video's been up for like 3 weeks now, and there's still been nothing from FE Core about any updates on the gyro. And this was supposed to be their big baby.
Updates from FE Core on anything. Yeah. I mean, there hasn't been updates from FE Core on anything. Oh, excuse me. The only thing that they did was I think they probably changed hosts on their website. But that was it. They haven't updated any information. There's no new test results. There's not even, any kind of solid results about their microwave world record and all this other shit. So the question is, what good are you? I mean, there's literally been nothing. And what do you call it? Now, I mean, I'm not sad about that, and it's not like I'm really surprised. But at the same time, apparently there were all these things rolling, and it seems like every one of them keeps getting disproved. I further disproved their laser experiments with my most recent re-release. Well, not re-release, but release of the more in-depth version of why their thing didn't work. And then there was also, I put out about the gyroscope. The gyroscope was moving. Now they want to go off and do things on other channels. Hello, FE Core. Don't you claim to have responsibility to your corporate donors? Don't you claim to have responsibility to your supporters and shit like that? And y'all ain't put out shit.
Well, no, because they're not getting results that they want, so they can't put them out.
Yeah, I did get word twice. Now this is unconfirmed. You need to understand this is unconfirmed. So therefore, I'm just putting out what I've been made aware of. But honestly, it makes sense, and that is that I've heard of 2 people who have written to specific companies who supposedly have donated items to their to FE Core. Now, apparently what FE Core does is, did you ever notice that everything that they're trying to do, they keep on labeling as a world record?
Yep.
As far as their bigger tests, world record radio shot, world record laser thing, and all this other stuff. They keep on trying to classify everything as a world record. So what they do is they pitch that idea to the people who apparently might be interested in donating them equipment as not a this is FE Core and all that, but more of it's they pitch it as we're going to do a world record. How would you like to have your name associated with it? So
Oh,
I've heard
Jesus.
that there have been people who write to these companies, because they show all their equipment, or at least in most cases, and they haven't had their equipment is also not something that they got yesterday. They've had this stuff actually for a year or so. And people write these companies say, "Hey, did you know that you're being associated with Flat Earth?" And they're like, "Huh?" So yeah, you're donating to a Flat Earth organization. And apparently, this turns into a nasty gram going back to FE Core saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Fuck you! You're not going to use our stuff for that." And so it's all very interesting to watch. Like I said, I haven't confirmed that. I haven't seen any of these letters and stuff like that. But there was one time that Mike Kavanaugh had even said on his interview with Paul on a Plane, I believe it was, that what do you call it? That he caught a lot of shit from one company and stuff like that because people wrote to that company and said, "Hey, this is what your donated equipment is going towards." And now he didn't specifically say that, but it did actually confirm that. He just said that people write to them, and then he has to go back and explain himself to them, and because they're angry. So it's just it's so funny. But I find it very interesting. And now, what do you call it? After FE Core basically did not decide to contest, or at least apparently they didn't decide to contest the uh, the counterclaim that I made on their copyright takedown. Which, thank you, by the way, YouTube. I mean, it took you long enough, but my copyright strike was my video was reinstated and all this. And this was not due to any automatic times because we're not even actually at the date where that would be yet. I think it was the 25th that it was supposed to. The strike would go away, but the video would stay down.
Right.
And but my video's back and all that stuff, so we're all good. And oh yeah, that's true. Um, I was just reading the comment here, but I just thought it was I thought it was funny that I mean, at the same time, Mike Kavanaugh wrote me an email and said that he would be happy to take me to court and prove before a judge that everything I've said is a lie and all this other stuff, and which I find hysterical because if he had actually something to say, he would have said it through YouTube.
Well,
He would have turned around and said, "No, this is my."
I'm still waiting for him to take me to court for calling FE Core a fraudulent organization. But that's never going to happen either. So.
Yeah. So I mean, all this back talk and all this other stuff, and he's probably also pretty pissed off because he can't track. He even alluded to the fact that he would want to track down my address. But guess what? Now, to all my veterans out there, and I know A2 is probably going to hear this at some point. Jared's going to hear this at some point. I have an APO address, okay, which is my legal address. That's not a cop out. That's my legal address here overseas. So, guess what?
Ooh.
So, if you want to show up at my mail room,
has Red sent you
I'm glad you could just sit there and walk around.
Has Red sent you a Hangout link yet?
Huh? No, I haven't got one.
Oh, because he's
Not that I
apparently
see. Hold on.
he's apparently going live in 2
Yeah,
minutes.
I just saw that Reds is going live, and there's apparently is going to be somebody's going to get bashed up.
Oh yeah.
So let's go ahead and wind this up. So I think I've gotten my fill of what's been going on here. But yes, I did have a cameo on as part of the Globe Live tour. I got no answers from any flat-earther. I was even told to piss off. What do you call it? By one of the visiting flat earthers, and I will be making a video about that soon regarding a claim that was made by the visiting flat earther, seeing that the guy who was actually hosting the show, which you guys are all sponsoring, flat earthers, couldn't make a solid argument about anything. The only person who had a solid argument, but then strangely didn't have any pictures and didn't have to prove anything to me. What do you call it? He ran from that discussion, told me to piss off. But I will be doing a video about that because it's actually kind of funny what he was proposing to me. But anyway, apparently over on whose channel is Red's thing going to be on?
He's on
Obviously,
Red's.
it would be Red's, right?
Yeah, he's doing an after show where
Okay.
he's
So
got to destroying that moon landing denier guy, and now he wants to talk about it, I guess.
well, and let's go ahead and kill this out, and then I guess whatever happens on Reds, we'll probably jump over there. If I get an invite, I'll probably go on it. I just won't be able to share my screen, so I can save a little bit of bandwidth.
Yay!
But anyway, for everybody who stopped by and stuff like that, feel free to comment below this video if there's anything else in the last 2 weeks that I missed. Doesn't mean I'm going to make a video about it, but if it's something that I can really sink my teeth into, obviously I will. Don't remind me about that guy, because that guy ran like a little bitch from the test that I put up for him. Ran like a little bitch and then got called out lying twice. And so after that, I kind of lost interest in that. And Flat Earth Aussie Jesus seems to not know the difference between a circle and an oval. So,
Oh God.
anybody who's been around Flat Earth long enough knows exactly what that means.
Yep.
But so that's been my interactions for the past day. Oh, and one dude with a channel that had absolutely nothing on it told me that why don't I get off my ass and do some research? So, gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. So anyway, everybody get off of me and go over to Red's channel. Wow, that probably sounded bad. Go over to Red's channel and watch whatever he's about to bash and destroy there. And I don't know if I'll be able to join, but yeah, if I can, then I will, and I'll probably do some screen sharing because there's a lot of stuff on the lunar arguments where some 3D modeling could be useful.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, everybody, get out of here. Sean, appreciate you stopping by, and we'll catch up with you guys all a little bit later.
All right.